All right. Sorry for the hoarseness of the voice, guys. It is pushing 4 a.m. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Let's focus back on these knives here, Sony. Hello, Sony. Open L. Okay, now, I've been thinking long and hard about this video. Yes, long and hard, you dirty, silly, perverted bastards. At first, I was thinking all one way. And then I started thinking to myself, Callie P, you got it all wrong. You got to look at it from another way. And that's what we're going to talk about. This video is going to be on secondary blades, secondary knives, secondary EDC gear, secondary whatever may have you. What makes a secondary? Well, first off, what does secondary mean? So we're going to go ahead and look that up on the internet, on the wiki. Alright, what does the definition of secondary? Secondary. Coming after, less important than, or resulting from someone or something else that is primary. Example, luck plays a role, but it's ultimately secondary to local knowledge. Now, do I agree with that? Somewhat. Do I agree that that means less important than? Of course not. Now, let's look at the definition of primary. Go back to the wiki, type it in. Primary. Adjective. Of chief importance or principle. The government's primary aim is to see significant reductions in unemployment. Oh, wow. I'm very surprised they use that as the example. Okay? But of chief importance or principle. So your primary. What's your primary? You say you're a soldier. You're in the army. You're an army man. You're out there doing your soldier thing. Right? What is your primary weapon? Well, your primary weapon is going to be your battle rifle. It's going to be your shotgun. It's going to be your light machine gun. It's going to be, that's your go-to gun. That's your primary. What's your secondary? Your secondary is going to be your sidearm, or something. Again, I don't want to say smaller, but in this instance, your sidearm would be your secondary, unless, of course, who knows? You have your primary battle rifle, you have a secondary rifle, you got a shotgun, and then you have your sidearm. But with that being said, I do not think that your secondary blade is any less important than your primary blade, and the reason for that is myself. My primary blade is usually a larger blade. We'll use this for example. The ZT-0200. Absolutely love this knife. I'll carry this as my primary folder in my front right pocket. What do I carry as a secondary? Now, just because this is my personal preference and how I choose to carry things, my secondary is usually a smaller blade. But the funny part about that is, even though my primary blade is the ZT-0200, my secondary blade usually sees more use. Now, why is that? Being out in public. For instance, I was in a Dollar Tree the other day, and the lady was trying to print out receipt, and she could not get the receipt paper unrolled for the life of her. The tape was stuck. She could not get the stuff open. I had on me... Whoa, Callie P. My shuffle, Kershaw Shuffle 1, in white. Love this knife. I whipped it out right there in the front of the line, helped the lady get the receipt paper unrolled and into the machine. Nobody jumped back. Nobody took a gasp. Nobody ran out of the building thinking I was robbing the place. The knife, looking as it does, wasn't threatening. I was able to whip it out right there, like I said, in front of a bunch of people. They seen what I was doing, and they actually thanked me for helping the lady and getting us all out of there a little bit quicker. So my secondary blade is usually a smaller blade. Now, again, it doesn't always have to be. If, you know, your primary blade is a, let's say you want to carry 3/4 ton as your primary blade. This is the one, you know, rides in your front pocket, ready to go all the time. But you want to carry your ZT-0200 as your secondary for a defense knife. Understandable. You're not really going to use that secondary as much, or the defense knife. I mean, how many times you get attacked a day or a week? I mean, it doesn't happen. We stay prepared for it because you never know. But you're not going to be fending off attackers left and right and making your self-defense knife your primary. Now, I carry a primary, a secondary, and then a knife that rides with me permanently, but she is my self-defense knife. For my self-defense knife, I use the Spyderco Police. Very intimidating, a great equalizer. And my hopes, if I ever have to pull this out, I hope that this is intimidating enough and it looks like it's gonna fuck you up so terribly that you won't even want to mess with me. That's what I'm hoping, because the last thing I want to do is have to cut somebody. The last thing I want to do is have to go to jail and sort all that shit out, because no matter what, you're serving some jail time. You're gonna get arrested. You're gonna have to explain yourself, whether you're acquitted or not. They're taking your knife, you're going to jail, and it's a whole shitty process that you do not want to have to go through. Trust me on that, guys. You do not want to go through that if you do not have to. So hopefully, this being as big as it is and intimidating as it is, I won't have to use it. Now, I was asked recently, for a self-defense blade, shouldn't I carry, wow, Cali P, shouldn't I carry a blacked out blade? Now, if you're a police officer or military personnel, security guard, personal security, something like that, I could totally understand the blacked out blade. You don't want it to be seen. If you have to deploy it and have to use it, you want it to, you know, be felt, not to be seen. With me, I'm going for the opposite. I want this blade to be seen. I want the light to catch off those teeth. I want you to see that long blade and say, you know what? I don't want to step to that. It's just not going to be good for me no matter what. I'm going to get sliced up, and regardless if I get the better of this guy or not, it's going to be a bunch of damage that I don't want to have to deal with. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's why I carry satin or, you know, just non-blacked out blades for my defense knives. Again, secondary blades. If you are, you know, you carry, let's see, what else do I have up here that I can use? You want to carry this Kuro as your primary blade and carry freaking straight edge as your secondary for cutting carpet if you're a carpenter. It really all depends on your preference, your needs, you know, your profession. If you're you work wood, you're going to be cutting packages all day. You're going to be cutting tape, paper, carpet, drywall. It really all depends on your specific needs, and that's what's great about the knife and gear world, is you can get whatever you want and tune it to your specific needs, and nobody can tell you any different. So with that being said, I hope this helped clear up a few questions that I've been getting recently. I'd like to do a more in-depth video on secondary blades and show you guys a little bit more about this and tell you about my secondary choices. But I kind of wanted to get this video out there and let you guys know that everybody's definition of a secondary, primary, self-defense, I mean, everybody's definitions are going to be different. They're going to be tuned for themselves and all of that good stuff. So don't get stuck up on, you know, don't get stuck on the name, what to call it. It's your primary, your secondary. Just carry what you want, carry what you love. If you love it and it floats your boat, by all means, freaking do it. Do it. Do it and do it big, damn it. All right, that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. California Prepper, I'm out of here.